Hi everybody, Elizabeth here, and welcome to episode 37 of Coffee and Crafting. I'm so excited that you're here with me today on this beautiful Monday. So every Monday at noon, I like to come on here on Facebook and craft with you and enjoy a cup of coffee after my lunch break. It's a lot of fun, and I try to focus on crafts or projects that will take less than 30 minutes because I know that we're all busy, and I truly believe in the process of creating and doing something fun and feeling inspired to continue to do things. So let's get started. Okay, today I've got a really fun DIY for you. So if you've been here for a while, you know that I love making wreaths, and the reason for that is because wreaths honestly can be very expensive. And I personally love wreaths because they're so easy to change out, and I love actually putting them throughout my house, on the inside and outside of my house. And so today we're making a fun interior wreath using dried florals. Look how beautiful that is. I love this one so much. So I made it last year. And I thought it was time to show y'all how to make it. The beauty with this one is that you're using dried florals, which are still having a huge moment. I think it's perfect for this time of the year because of the color, and also because I don't know where you are in the country, but here in Texas, we've pretty much already hit our peak of flower season, and so it's the right time to start drying our flowers, and honestly, because everything's too hot to grow anyway. And so I'm starting to dry some of my flowers, and they would make the perfect additions to this flower wreath. So honestly, you can use any flowers you have on hand. The only ones that I really recommend are these baby breaths because they are great at covering, they're inexpensive, and they're a perfect one to start with. But the other flowers, you can just have fun with whatever you have. So for instance, roses dry really easily. Let me show you. I've got a whole box here where I keep all of my dried florals, as you can see. And so some of these are purchased, and I have linked all my favorite dried flowers below in my description if you want to check that out. But so for instance, I purchased these straw flowers. They're really cute. And then all of these tiny ones that I'm going to use today. But roses are really easy to dry. Hydrangeas are super easy to dry. When I say easy, I mean all you do is take them out, you turn them over upside down, and they're ready to go. You just give them a dry space to dry. So again, we're going to be making this dried floral wreath. I love this one so much because to me, it just screams happy. It's so fun. There's really no rules to this when you're designing it. And it is the best. Honestly, this would make a great gift. It's also just really fun to put on any door that you have or just placing it inside your house. So that's what we're going to be making today. So let's go over all the materials that you're going to need. Again, if you have any questions in the description below, I've got a full supply list for you. Okay, so the first thing you're going to need is a grapevine wreath. So this grapevine wreath is actually thrifted. It's a 12-inch grapevine wreath, and you can do whatever size you want. I personally love to thrift my wreaths because wreaths can be expensive. And so this one cost me $1. You can see it's got some glue on it. So all I did was I pulled off the pieces and the bobbles that I wasn't crazy about. And so we're starting from fresh. So you're going to need a grapevine wreath, and then you're going to need some dried florals. I definitely recommend baby's breath for this project. And then even some colored baby's breath is fun. Some fun straw flowers, just some tiny flowers. As you see, we will continue to add those. And then you need a glue. So today I'm going to be using my favorite glue from Beacon. This is Beacon's Fabri-Tac. It's a really, really great glue to use. I love this one because honestly, you can use this glue for every single crafting project that you have. And it's great because it bonds to fabric, lace, wood, tile, all the things. And then the last thing is I like to add little bows into my wreath, and so I just pulled out some fun frayed velvet ribbons that I have to make some cute bows, but you can use whatever you have. You don't have to stick with ribbons. You could even add buttons. You could add fun seasonal decorations. You could do some seashells. You could just have a lot of fun with this. Again, there's no rules with this. Just have fun is the ultimate goal. Okay, so we're gonna get started. For this project, again, we're just gonna start with a simple grapevine wreath. I'm gonna push all my other pieces aside. And then I'm going to take just some scissors. You can use some floral shears if you have them. But for this, we're just gonna be taking some baby's breath. And I'm just cutting off small portions of it. So for instance, something like this, and making sure that you've got a little bit of a stem because you're going to stick that inside your wreath. So I'm going to cut off a couple of these just so I can start to work in a process. And the more coverage you have, I think the better on the base of it, because that's how you have this fun full look. But again, it's up to you and what kind of look you're after. Okay, so I'm going to keep adding these, and I personally love this because it lasts year round. I love flowers. This is a great way to really get the most out of your garden. Even though I personally love fresh flowers, this is just another way though. If you can't use all of them up, you can dry them and use them later. So I have a lot of dried florals just kind of hanging in my storage room over there because why not? Okay, maybe one day I will get a better process down of drying all these flowers, but until now, they've got some great options on Amazon, and A-Floral, A-F-L-O-R-A-L is a great company as well that has some magnificent dried florals, if that's your thing. Okay, so I think we've got a good starting point. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the base of this one, as you can see, just a cute little baby's breath. And we're just going to apply a little bit of glue. A little bit goes a long way. You don't have to go crazy. You can use any type of glue you want. I like this one because it doesn't have whiskers and it dries clear. So all you're going to do is you're going to insert it into your grapevine wreath. Very, very simple. You're just going to place it in there. And I love grapevine wreaths because, as you can see, a little bit of it is peeking through, and that's totally fine because that adds to the ambiance and the beauty of it. Okay, so all you're going to do is you're just going to kind of glue that in there, making sure it's nice and secure, like so. And then you're just going to build on top of that. So you're going to take your next one, and you're going to lay it over the first one. And again, you're just going to apply a little bit of glue, and you're just going to find a nice little place to insert it, like so, as you can see, okay? And then I like to work my way down so that I can cover up that original one. You're just gonna overlay it, overlap. And any pieces that might fall out, that's okay. You just put it down and you can use that later. Just be careful. Sometimes these dried flowers are a little delicate, unlike, a faux flower or something like that. And you can even use faux flowers in with this. I'm all for faux flowers, especially now. They make so many incredible faux flowers that look really realistic. So you can see I'm just laying them one on top of the other. It's a really fun process, very simple. This one's a little long for me, so I'm going to chop that off. And I'm just going to add the glue to it. You can see this glue is really forgiving. It dries clear. And it's so versatile. That's why I love it. I'm going to say, if there's one glue to keep in your stash, I would highly recommend Beacon's Fabri-Tac. It's not just for fabrics. Okay, so we're just going to keep going around. And don't worry about it being perfect because you're going to continue to fill in as you go. So I'm just continuing to overlay, find little spots that I can kind of stick this baby's breath in there. As you can see, I'm slowly starting to add it to the top, overlapping it one at a time, just having fun with this. And when I was researching this project, I was amazed at all of the adorable dried flowers that are out there. Let me move that one so doesn't keep poking me. And so you can just have fun with it. I think, again, I keep mentioning having fun, but I think that should always be the goal of when you are creating something. If you're not having fun, I don't think it's worth doing. So I'm just continuing to add layer. I'm overlapping this base of baby's breath. And all I'm doing is I'm gluing the base of it and I'm inserting it into finding a nice place for it to nestle inside the wreath. So let me show you just a closer look. So I'm just nestling it into little areas on the wreath. And when it dries, it's all going to dry so beautifully. I'm going to move this guy because he keeps poking me. Okay, there we go. So I'll continue to do that. We're almost halfway done with this side. And again, this is a 12-inch wreath. You could do any size that you want. How magnificent would it be if you did some really massive ones and doubled them up, like on a door frame or something? That could be so beautiful. You could also do a seasonal wreath, so you could do something like this for Christmas, which would be really fun and beautiful. Possibilities are truly endless. Ooh, fall would be so beautiful with these colors. Adding some beautiful fall colors. Really, it's just up to you. But I love adding in these really colorful baby's breath. I actually found some of these baby's breath at Trader Joe's. They sometimes have the colored baby's breath. And so I always snag them and then I just dry them because again, baby's breath is really easy to dry and it's inexpensive. Look at that. So I'm just overlapping. And if you are just joining us, we are making this dried floral wreath that's really fun and whimsical and beautiful. Okay? So all I'm doing now is I'm using Beacon's Fabri-Tac and attaching bunches of baby's breath to the grapevine wreath as a fun base so you can build on this. And I'm just continuing to carefully add this. Again, this baby's breath is delicate because it is real. And so just be mindful of that when you are attaching it because otherwise it might break on you. So I'm going to cut a couple more. And like I said, this Fabri-Tac goes a long way. It's a fabulous glue. And I just love making wreaths for this reason because there are no rules when making wreaths. And they are so fun and they're custom and most of the time, they're very inexpensive compared to a wreath. So I was at the craft store the other day and I fell in love with this one wreath. It was $60. And I'm thinking, how can I make that? So that's where my mind goes when I see some of those expensive wreaths. I mean, I understand it takes a long time to make. I get that, but you can make one too. Okay, so we are getting there. The beauty with this is the way that this flows. I'm just trying to kind of flow with the wreath. Don't stress out too much about it being perfect. This wreath is not going to look perfect just because of the whimsical nature of it. But ultimately, like I said, just have fun with it. Try to make sure that you're staying kind of within the circular radius of the wreath, like so. As you can see, okay, I'm almost done with the base, which honestly is the longest part. And again, you can add more baby's breath. You could almost cover the entire thing if you want. I leave some peeking through because I think that's beautiful as well. It kind of shows you the story of it and where it started. But that's up to you and what look you're after. This is all a custom process. It should be so much fun. And you should just enjoy it. Okay. And the beauty with this too is you can always add to it. You can take away. If you aren't happy with how it's looking, you can start over. It's not too precious that you have to worry too much about that. Okay. I am almost done with the base. I'm so excited to show y'all how it's looking. And this wreath is so fun because it has so much dimension. It is just popping out at you, which is so cool. I love that so much. And let's see here. I need a couple more fuller pieces. Some of these pieces are not very full. Okay. And this grapevine, there's so many pieces on here where this baby's breath can really attach to, which is great. Okay, there's a piece down here that I want, so I'm going to cut this off. And for instance, this one, I don't know if you can see this back end. I'm just going to trim that off because I don't want that in there. And I'm going to place this one in there. Okay. It's looking so cute. Okay, so the only thing with Fabri-Tac is sometimes on the edge you get a little glue. So I just keep a towel nearby and I kind of wipe that off to get a nice clean applicator. But here is the base. Look how cute that is. And look at it from the side. When I said it's like popping out at you, this is what I'm talking about. It's so cute. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit more fullness on this side just because I can. And so we're just going to add a little bit more. And when I'm just applying just a thin line to the edge, and I promise that will be enough to hold it in place because this baby's breath is super delicate and it's super thin and it doesn't require a whole lot of glue. Okay? And let's do one more over here just to add a little more fullness to it. Okay. So now that we have our base taken care of, let me nestle that in right there. Okay, now that we have our base, as you can see, okay, here, I'm going to add one more there because it's a little bit too, there's a bald spot. I want to cover that bald spot up. Right here. Okay. Perfect, beautiful. Okay, fabulous. One more right here. See, you can just keep playing with this and keep having so much fun with it. It's a fun one for sure. And it's like everything. You can just keep adding to it. You just need to kind of know when to stop. That might be the hardest part of this one, is just knowing when to stop. Okay, I think that's a good place to go to the next one. Okay, so now the next thing I want to do is, I'm not sure if you can tell, but I've got some colorful baby's breath in there. So I'm going to use, I picked up this baby's breath from when I went to Trader Joe's, and it's like a fun colorful rainbow. This is a beautiful blue. So the same thing, we're just going to find some spots that have some holes and we're going to fill it in there. And so cute. Okay, so I'm just finding some spots. And you don't have to stick with, you can stick with a color palette, but you can just have fun with it. So this has some pinks and some yellows on it. And don't worry about the colors, especially this one for summertime, because the more, to me, honestly, with this project, the more color, the better. I think it's more fun. And here I'm kind of just sticking it in there. Look how cute. Okay? So if you think that's a little bit too high up, we can nestle it in there a little bit more. But again, just be careful not to break it because this is delicate. And we are just going to continue to add. And I like to cut it a little bit further down so that I have enough to insert it into there. Okay? If that makes sense. And I'm going to always apply the glue, just a thin line to the base of it. And then we're just going to insert it in there. So cute. Perfect. And the great thing about the baby's breath is they all kind of tangle together and that helps them stay in place, honestly. Okay. So I'm just going to add a little bit more color with these baby breath. I am going about every other one. I'm just adding in some fun baby's breath, some colorful ones, I should say. Look at that. How fun. It is starting to come together and it's so cute. I'm loving it. Loving it. Okay. And If you can't tell, I'm really enjoying this project. It is so fun for me. For this project specifically, I think the more the better. And this project, I don't know if y'all are watching Bridgerton, but this gives me very Bridgerton vibes with the baby's breath and the ribbons and just the whimsical nature of it. I think it's really fun. So this is my take on the really feminine whimsy that I just love so much. But sometimes it's hard to find a spot where you can nestle it in there, so just take your time, like I said, just making sure that you do find a secure spot, because otherwise it's not going to stay. Okay, we're almost done. And I'm just making sure to go in the same place. I'm not mixing it up. So for instance, when I'm inserting it, I keep inserting it this way. I'm never going to go the opposite way, if that makes sense. So you're just going around in a circle. And this helps me stay consistent, and it also helps me make sure that all my pieces stay in there together. Okay, I just have a couple more of these baby's breath, the colorful ones, and then we're going to get to the fun pieces like these rabbit, the rabbit ones. I don't know what the flower is called, but it looks like a rabbit's tail. It's so cute. I'll show you. And I've also linked that in my description below if you want to make a similar wreath or something with these flowers. And that's it too. Like this style could be really cute as part of like a boutonniere or a corsage for a wedding or prom or a fun event. It doesn't have to be a wreath, but hopefully this will just spark some fun ideas for you. If you do have a fun event coming up, these could be a fun centerpiece. Where you could use, okay, looking real cute. Now I'm going to add in, let's try these bunny ears. That's what I was talking about. Sorry, bunny tails. So cute, right? Okay, so here's one, this fun blue one. I'm just cutting off a little stem. And then again, same exact thing. I'm going to take that and put it in the same direction that I have been doing it. And if you'll have any questions, my inbox is always open. I'm happy to answer them. Look how cute that is. It adds so much. And you don't need that many of them. Let's see, for this other one, I think I added like 6 of them. So you don't have to go crazy when you're doing this. And as far as the placement goes with the special pieces, I like to do some on the interior, kind of like I did here, and then one on the outside like I did here. It's just honestly what feels good for what you're doing. Here's a pretty pink one that I'm going to do. And the one thing I love about Fabri-Tac is that, again, it doesn't have any whiskers, and you don't have to worry about burning yourself. Look how cute that is. I love that so much. It's so fun. It's such an unexpected pop that just really, keeps your eye moving around your wreath, and it tells such a fun story, I think. These pieces are so fun. Okay, here is a fun red one that's super unexpected because we had all these pastel colors, and then here you have this really bold red one, which is so cool. I'm going to keep adding these. Let's do a fun yellow one. I'm really just going crazy with these colors because it's what it's all about. Just having fun with it. The only thing, cleanup might be a little easy. It's a little messy, but you just get your broom out and you're good to go. So don't stress out about cleanup. It'll just, it is what it is. Okay, let's do another blue one. I just love these bunny tails. I think they add so much to this piece. I think the goal to a successful wreath like this is getting the textures and the colors, just kind of having fun with them, not really sticking to a pattern, just doing whatever feels good in the moment as far as placement So you can see I've added all these fun bunny tails. Let's do one more right here. I think we're missing one right there. Just to keep that movement going. So fun. Okay, so I'm going to clean off my applicator once more. And now I'm going to add my straw flowers, which are these really fun ones right here. And so for this, I'm just going to cut off most of the stems. So you just have a little piece. So all you're going to do is you are going to glue the end of it and then just insert it into the top. Just find a little spot, hold it in place for just a second, and then let it go. Okay? Because you want those to kind of be flush. You don't really want them to be, you need to find a spot that they can sit in flat, because otherwise they won't show off as much if they're hanging on their side versus if they're right on top, if that makes sense. And I love the dimension of these. I think they're really fun and beautiful. These straw flowers, they're kind of unexpected. And why not, right? Why not? So cute, right? Adorable. Okay, so we'll just keep adding a couple of those. And I like to add different colors of these. This one came with like a beautiful yellow and then kind of this maroon color, which is fun and unexpected. Just kind of inserting it in there, and we're going to do one more right here. I like to keep the eye moving, so I normally work in threes because you want to like see a triangle, so your eye just keeps moving when I'm working with wreaths, but it's up to you. And again, I know I say that a lot, but creating is such a personal process, and you start to find your style and what makes you happy. And I think my ultimate goal is just to get you started, okay? Okay, look how cute, and look at what those straw flowers added, okay? So we are almost there. You can keep adding flowers. So I've got these beautiful little blue ones that I can cut them up and bunch them together like I did here. Let me see. These beautiful peachy ones, you could do that. Again, you can keep adding more. I've also got these really fun ones that could be really neat stuck in there as well. I'm going to do a couple of those. It's just really up to you, again, and just play with it. I like what those add. These are really fun. I love these. And a lot of craft stores are carrying the dried flowers now too, because they're still really popular for creating with. And they are great. I love them. Okay, we are almost done. All we have left is to add some beautiful ribbons, and then your whimsical wreath is going to be all done. Okay, so this is where we're at. Now we're going to add some fun ribbons, okay? So I pulled these velvet ribbons. I had them on my tree. The way that I did these bows is I made them super tiny, super petite, super cute. And so I'm just going to make some fun ribbons out of them. Just the way that I like to do a ribbon is I start with a loop, like so, and then I bring it around and then catch it underneath so that you've got your beautiful velvet on all sides. And then you just kind of play with it back and forth, making sure that it's even and it's beautiful. And with the way that these ribbons are, I don't have a huge tail on them because I just wanted a little something extra. I didn't want it to steal from the show, but I wanted to add to the show, if that makes sense. And I feel like you've got these massive ribbon bows on there, or ties on there. You might steal from the flowers, okay? So we're just gonna do that. So cute, just a very simple, adorable little ribbon. And we're just gonna find a gap and stick it in there. Just stick it on there. Okay, so first off, we need to decide how we want this. And I think that this is the way that it's going to be upright. So that's the only thing is the ribbons. I want to make sure that all ribbons are upright like this, not some are side to side. So now that I know how I'm going to display this, I'm just going to apply some more glue to the back of this and then place it directly onto your wreath frame. You don't want to put this onto the flowers because you want to make sure that this is attached directly onto your wreath. Okay? That way it sticks to it. That makes sense. Okay, perfect. So cute. Okay, I'm going to add one more of this pink one. And I think I'm just going to do 3 bows because like I said, I like to keep the eye moving, kind of a fun triangle. If you add too much, it's going to take away from the show versus adding to it. Okay. And one moment. Sometimes this doesn't go as quickly as I would like it to, but that's okay. Okay, there we go. We got a cute little bow. It's so cute. I just love velvet. I know that this is like a spring, summer wreath, but to me, velvet can be around year round, honestly, because it has so much beautiful texture and the colors, and it's just so readily available now too because it's still very popular. Okay, another cute little bow. Look how cute. Okay, so we're going to add this one basically on the exact opposite end of the wreath in the triangle phase. Again, we're going to add it directly to the wreath so that it attaches. Okay, and then lastly, we're going to do a nice fun pop. How fun is this color? Honestly, I wore this dress today because I knew it would match the wreath. I know, that's kind of silly. That one's a little bit too short, so we're going to make it a little bit longer. I've linked some ribbons that I've bought before from Amazon, and they do have this beautiful lime green color on there that I linked. That's a little too short again. I apologize. But I bought this ribbon from Anthropologie, actually. Anthropologie has some great kind of seasonal ribbons. So especially in the fall and winter, I would look at Anthropologie. I'd look online and see what they have available because you might be really surprised by what you find. I love shopping there for clothes and some for home decor accessories, but I never think to look there for ribbons, but I have really been so amazed at their selection, especially when the fall and winter come around, because they've got this beautiful, this is where I found this color, even though I linked a similar one. Okay, so this is the last piece of the pie. We are going to attach this one directly, again, to the wreath so that it stays put. It has something to attach to, because if you attach it to a flower, to the baby's breath, it won't attach as well. Look at this. Oh my gosh. Come on. How cute is this? Let me move this guy out of the way so you can see it. Look how cute. So this is it. This is the wreath. It is darling. This was a thrifted wreath. All I did was I took off the original baubles. I added some fun baby's breath, some fun dried florals, and then some fun ribbons. And then lastly, all I'm going to do is attach a hanger to the back with some yarn, and I'm going to put it on display for all to enjoy. The end. So thank you so much for joining me today. If you want to make this wreath for yourself, again, all the details are in the description below. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have. Thank you so much for following along today. I hope you'll have a beautiful week, and I will see you next Monday here on Facebook at noon Central Standard Time. Thank you guys. Talk to you later.